Hey guys, welcome to our channel. If you're new here, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Morgan, but you can call me Lil Mo.
What about me? I'm Brooke.
So a lot of y'all requested for Brooke to join us. So here he is, live in action.
And we're about to get it. Let's go. We're going to have some good training here. So I'm going to let Morgan take off with this one. We're so happy that you guys are here. And yeah, thank y'all for joining us every Wednesday at 12 for our premiere and our live after.
Today in this video, we're going to share with you how normal people, a former waitress,
and I was a sugarcane farmer,
how we went with no experience to selling $5.2 million on Amazon. That's weird to say out loud.
That's crazy. And it's been 5.5 years. We're almost pushing 6 years now. So just believe it. Anything could happen and you could change your life. It's all in your own hands.
We were sick of all these gurus making crazy promises, and we just wanted, I always wished on YouTube I could find normal people who would just explain stuff real simply. Couldn't really find too many in this Amazon world, so I just figured let's be those people, you know? So today we're going to share with you our top 5 mistakes that we made as new sellers and answer any of your questions. So make sure you drop in the chat your name, where you're watching from, and let's do a little poll, okay? If you have started selling on Amazon already, drop 1 in the chat. If you have made at least 1 sell on Amazon, put a 2. And if you haven't started yet, but you're interested in learning more, drop 3, just so we can see where y'all are at to know how deep to go. And if you haven't even started, I'm proud of you for taking action and being here today. And since your time is money, let's get started.
And like Morgan says, they might be our top 5 mistakes, but I think we like to call them more of learning lessons because we learned a ton off of all these mistakes or little problems. So I wouldn't call it a bad thing.
No, not at all. So many people are scared to start. They're so fearful they're gonna, screw it up. But it's like every single mistake we made is just a valuable lesson. We're not gonna do it that way again, and we're gonna do better. So let's go ahead and start with our very first mistake. And this is the big mistake I see a lot of people make. Yes. And what that is when you're finding products, you are going with your gut. You're not going with data. So
things you like versus things that are selling. So just remember that.
So I'm obsessed with Australian Shepherds. So if I can't expect everybody to be obsessed with them and just get products for that. What you like is honestly irrelevant to the equation. And the most important thing is they have all these tools and resources, whether you know what to sell or not, that you can just push a button and for like Helium 10, Jungle Scout, Smart Scout, and we have discounts to all of them in our description if anybody is needing them. And you're going to look at that data and it's going to tell you, like, we can just click on any product and see how many sales in a month, how many sellers they have. So you just got to focus on the data.
Yeah, and don't overthink these tools that you could use, because one of them will work for now. We started with our Amazon selling app and
that was it,
and a sales rank chart, and that's what we used for a long time, and that's how we learned. So once we learned about the tools, our sales only grew and got better because we got more data and more detailed numbers to figure out what we're going to source and what we're going to sell.
Anything we share with you is not to overwhelm you. It's just to provide more resources. And a lot of people think, I want to sell something I'm passionate about. But you know what? If you find a normal everyday product that makes you a lot of money, you could get passionate about it really, really quick. And on the other hand, if you love an item, but you're not even making enough money to pay your rent from it, you're going to hate it. You're not going to love it for very long. So definitely focus on that. You want to go over the second thing?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, we didn't, when we're doing private label, we might've just found a product and we didn't necessarily make it better than our competitors. And that was a big lesson we've learned. And then there's multiple ways you can make your products better.
So the secret is basically if you do the research and you find an item with high sales and low competition, you can't just order the exact same product on Alibaba. That's really not going to work most of the time. You want to either bundle it with another item or you want to give them an example. Would y'all want some? Y'all type yes in the comments if you want some actual examples of how we could take a normal item and make it better.
Yeah, because I don't want to overwhelm you guys with this. And if you guys want it, I'll definitely show you a pretty cool example I have here for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So you want to just go ahead, show them what we found at the beach.
All right.
That product.
So when we go to the beach, you know,
I love the
we're
beach.
not dark skinned and we get red a lot and we burn. So we always gotta grab us an umbrella, especially when we're traveling in the van. And as I was searching for these umbrellas on Amazon, there was tons of them that were like, but what set this one apart in my book, in my eyes, to buy it was actually they made this little table that just hooked on straight to the umbrella to where you could put your phone,
like you could put like your drinks right here,
everything, and you're not gonna get full of sand. And I just thought, wow, they were genius, because who would have just thought about adding a simple plastic plate that fit to your umbrella? And it forced me to buy their product versus the same umbrella on the other listing without this.
And then what else does it have? Something at the bottom.
So another
but
thing,
wait, there was more.
So if you were a seller and maybe put this table and they were selling good and you're like, how can I make my product different from that listing? And
the design. I love the design of it.
Well, they came up with one better. So with it also,
it might be dirty to open.
It might be full of sand.
Don't open that.
But it is a sandbag that fits at the bottom of the umbrella to where the umbrella won't sway from the wind. And I just thought, genius. A simple little, it probably cost them 50 cents to $1 to make this bag. And they just made their listing 10x better.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be anything expensive or crazy. It just has to be something simple like that. And I'll give you a couple more examples. So they have like this motivational water bottle that makes hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales every month. And this one, they just added some things on it that said like, 7 a.m., 9 a.m. I saw another one for people who love dogs, and they had each one was a different type of breed of dogs. I know like this month is Pride Month, so there's a lot of, a lot of products that support everybody. So they made this purse, and instead of just a normal purse, it's actually hard.
Yeah, and just another thing, don't be afraid to ask your manufacturer supplier.
Yeah, ask them to do something different.
Just because they're not advertising it doesn't mean that they don't have partnerships or that their factory can't handle that process as well. So
basically, if they can make the basic product, they usually can make simple modifications, as long as it's nothing crazy that they'd have to, develop an app or anything to make.
Yeah, so don't ever just say, oh, well, I found this listing on Alibaba. It's just the umbrella. They won't be able to make my table for me. Well, the fact of the matter is they probably can, and if they can't, they have a partner down the street that can make it for you and send it to them and bundle it all together for you.
Larry, there are no stupid questions because we've asked them all. And even something as simple as the packaging for this item. This is like a little Doppler type thing. This packaging is awesome. It keeps it protected. So you can differentiate yourself with the packaging as well. And just one more example for y'all. Of course, we don't recommend selling anything breakable, but they took a normal, this is one of my favorite things I ever got on Amazon. They took a normal, this is for flowers to go in, and they just made it into like a little woman to make it unique. So you can do anything like that. Now let's move on to number 3. A big mistake people make is not calculating your profit correctly. So one thing is like if you are sending an item that you're going to fulfill yourself, like you're going to ship it yourself, you just list it and you don't even know what the shipping is going to be. You definitely want to factor in the shipping. We recommend don't charge extra for shipping, build it into your base price.
So when you're doing your negotiations with the manufacturer for your quotes, you try to get that involved in there, and you'll also want to see if they're going to handle all the shipping and clear customs for you, or if you're going to have to find a shipping broker to clear the customs for you, and that'll be all included in the price of that one item. And you try to get a big quantity to just that price over
Mhm.
all your products, and that's how you could get your price of your product lower.
And it's not even just for the private label like he was describing. Even if you're selling existing items, you want to focus on items at minimum that are going to sell for at least $15. We prefer $20 and up. And the reason is you want to follow the 3 times rule. And what this is let's say I pay $10 for this item. I couldn't sell it for $20 and really make enough of a profit to make it worth it. What you want to do is if you pay $10, you want to sell it for $30. Sell it for 3 times, because Amazon, with their 2-day shipping, they're going to get 1/3. My cost of my item is $10, and you want 100% return on your investment. So you want to make $10. So you need to sell it for at least 3 times what you paid. And then also factor in returns. If you have to run ads for a private label product, I wrote everything down, and like any freight, and that's pretty much it, because you can't scale your business if you're working for free.
And you got to remember, you got to factor all these variables in it, and you're just thinking, I'm going to sell this product, but you're not thinking about the returns, the shipping, and all that. So just factor all that in the beginning, and you'll be fine.
Larry wants to know, does a supplier do the variations or bundling, or is it Amazon, or are you doing it? Anything like that, you are doing. Like, nobody else is going to do it for you. You are coming up with the idea, the concept. You do all of that, and all you do is send it to Amazon. They're going to ship it to the customer exactly how you ship it. So let's move on to number 4. And this is actually why we got on social media, to start helping you. Not having patience, okay? So get rich quick. If you've come here thinking you're going to make money right away, I'm not saying you can't make money like in the first month, because you definitely can. We did. Our clients do every single day. But it's not get rich quick overnight. Like, if we send something to Amazon today, how long is it going to be before we make money off of it?
Sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes a month, sometimes later, depending on what time of the year it is.
Just for them to even check it into their warehouse. So like, we're not saying you can't make a lot of money, but it's going to take time. There is a learning curve. You can make enough money to change your entire life. But I see a lot of people wanting to like quit their jobs before they've even started. The most successful sellers that we see, they're grinding and hustling while they're working full time
for that first year, because all they're doing with that profit is spitting it back into their Amazon business, to where they can live that free life in 2 years, 3 years down the street. And you could probably do it after a year, but just know it's a long grind, and you see the success of others. Don't have the jealousy over it, because you're going to get there with your hard work and efforts too.
You just want to sacrifice now, and you're going to have long-term success. You're going to have freedom to live life on your own terms. We were never like chasing money. We just always, we didn't want to have to ask somebody for time off work. We were sick of going, to a job that we hated.
And when you were good at what we were doing, and we knew we could do something for ourselves, I think that was the main part of it. And I think all you guys here are probably in the same boat.
I agree. So let's see. Jill says she purchased a bunch of brand new products by a brand called Sunday Citizen. How do I know if I can sell on Amazon? Okay, Jill, I'm going to give you some tough love right now. I personally would never purchase anything before I know if I can sell it, because if you can't sell it, you're kind of stuck with those items. You can look it up on the Amazon seller app or on Amazon to see if it's even listed, if they even have any demand, and if you're even allowed to sell it. But moving forward, I would make sure an item actually has demand, and you're allowed to sell it before, because you're trying to make money, and I don't want you to spin your wheels and buy things that aren't selling.
And that's kind of the part with the gut over the data that we were talking about earlier.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so
I think we'll go to
number 5.
Number 5, which is we tried to do everything ourselves.
We just have Brooke and I both grew up, we come from very humble beginnings, and we've never had people to help us with anything. We've never, like, no matter what we do, if we move a house, if we do anything, we just have always done everything ourselves. So
it's something in my past farmer life that when you work on a farm, when you live on a farm, you kind of do it all yourself. You figure it out. You kind of figure out all the problems. So it's kind of hard to let that go.
But we didn't even get any software. We didn't get coaches. We didn't get any community. And the problem with that is, as a solopreneur, you need support. And once we started investing in software like Jungle Scout, Helium 10, things like that, that's when our sales, we went from like 200,000 in sales to our first $1 million year. And so when you have, and even if it's not, if you get a coach, if you get any sort of group, you have a community when, something goes wrong, you have resources to ask. Like we're in this Discord group, and anytime I want to find out how to get unrestricted and ungated for a product, I just go search it in there and I can find it. And it's important to have people who are like-minded, even like in real life. Do we know a lot of entrepreneurs?
No, in our real world life, not necessarily, but we're trying to connect more and more with some, but it's just hard because we're stuck working on our businesses full time. So it's hard to go out and meet those people, but we try our best to get around to them.
Yeah, and that is so true because, basically living in a small town in Louisiana, we don't really have a lot of people who own businesses, especially anything online, but we've been able to connect with people on social media, going to Amazon seller conferences. And it's just nice having a community who, knows what you're talking about, and they're just have bigger dreams.
Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air when you walk into some of these rooms and the people have dealt with the same things that you're dealing with. And you're not alone at that point. And this whole time on this journey, sometimes you feel like it's a lonely road. You're by yourself. You're with your partner working, grinding it out. So it could be lonely. So when you hear about the conversations with these other people, all of a sudden it's super fresh air and it's awesome.
It's very, very true. So I'm going to take maybe about 5 minutes for us to answer a couple of y'all's questions. I see Colette asked, do we have a death pile? Experiences where you sit items, they're sitting in the warehouse for 7 months and no sales, at least at the beginning. Just remember this, any item that you buy, like I never want you to go spend 1 penny that you cannot afford to lose. And the reason I say that is because it is risky. Every single thing you do as an entrepreneur is going to be a risk. Fortunately, there are tools, and once you learn what you're doing, it's a calculated risk. So we use, every item has a bestseller rank, which tells you how many items it sells a month. The lower it is, the more likely it sells.
Keep a chart.
You
the history of the product and how it's sold on that listing.
Exactly. So we definitely have had that happen previously. Now we have enough experience that we can pretty much tell if something's going to sell or not. It doesn't mean it always happens, but you have to factor that in.
Don't always just give up on that death pile, because there's other platforms that you can maybe get your money back on it, such as eBay or you name it. There's a ton of other reseller sites. Facebook Marketplace even is a good one. So don't always just give up on that product or give it away. Always try to get your money back if possible.
And what we do, like to avoid that, we try not to compete with Amazon directly, because they're always going to get the buy box. If it's been in our inventory a while, we will lower the price. We'll sell it at what we paid. If you sell it for anything, it's better than selling it for nothing. And then you just take that as a lesson. This wasn't a great product. I'm not going to sell it again. And you move on. If for any reason you can't sell it, you just want to log it in your expenses as unsold merchandise, and it's going to help you when it comes to tax filing season. Never let something that didn't sell stop you from trying to sell. Just think, did I actually do research for this product? What did I do wrong? Learn from it and move on.
And don't beat yourself up, because even if you do the research and everything's looking good, sometimes that product is just a dud. And we move on to the next product and find some winners out there and keep grinding it out.
We've made products from scratch that did nothing, and all we did, we learned from it and we didn't give up. And we've met 7-figure sellers. One of them, he shares everything here on YouTube, and he had 7 products fail before he got his first winning product. And now he makes over $50,000 a month from Amazon. So if he would have given up, he would still be working a job he hates, making $30K a year versus that. So don't let it stop you. So what is the very first thing I should do? The first thing you should do is sign up for an Amazon seller account, because you can't research products. You can't do anything. We recommend going with a pro account. It's $39.99 a month, gives you access to 200 million plus customers. If you need to learn the basics, We have a free training. The next one is actually tonight, and it is in our description, or you can go to cageadventuresmo.com. It kind of just explains everything for beginners. It walks you through different terminology, the 5 different ways you can sell on Amazon. So that's another really good place to start. And we have tons of videos here on YouTube that will help you. If anybody has not gotten to ask any questions, y'all drop them in the comments and we'll be sure to answer them. If y'all found this helpful, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and if you turn on your notifications, you won't miss any of our free live trainings every Wednesday at noon Central Time. You know if Amazon is the seller because when you click on all sellers, you're going to see it's being sold by Amazon.com. They will always have the buy box. And we do have a couple listings where they share the buy box, but most it's their world. We're just lucky to be invited to it.
That's right.
Okay, so one person wants to, let's see, is KDP with no content, low content still worth it for beginners? I think absolutely. So if you're not familiar with that, it's a great way you can sell worldwide. It's totally different than Amazon seller. Brooke's going to put in the chat a link where we actually made 3 free tutorials. People told us we should charge for a course for it, but we just wanted to put it out there for free. You can make a digital file and you just upload it. And then whenever somebody, it could be like a journal, a medical notebook, the more niche, the better.
But make it cool because nobody wants a basic journal or a basic book. And we see a lot of these getting sold, and some people make really good money. But when we look at them, they're really, really cool and in depth.
Yeah, and we posted it in here. It's cageadventuresmo.com/KDP. We have stuff that'll walk you through it. We show what we use to research, but it's awesome because you can do it worldwide because you said you're in Croatia. It is no physical product, so you have no inventory. You literally, it's as passive income as it comes because you do the work up front and then you make money for the rest of your life, basically. So we want to thank all of y'all for taking time to come today. We'll see y'all on the next video. Now, y'all go make that money. Bye.